Hello everyone, I'm Sean. Alright, this is Everyday Food Reviews. Today we're having a quick look at Tiger Zero. Now you might not think that's something worth doing a video on. I usually wait until I can find two energy drinks like this that I've not looked at and do them both together, but there was something I wanted to talk about before we get into the drink. Earlier this week, a 21-year-old university student sadly passed away due to heart complications linked to excessive consumption of energy drinks. There's a lot of things I'm not here to talk about. I'm not here to talk about the psychological effects of addiction and dependency because I'm not a psychologist. I'm not here to talk about the nutritional aspects of energy drinks in terms of calories, sugar, and the adverse effects of those ingredients because I'm not a nutritionist. I'm not here to talk about the politics of the matter. I'm not here to talk about the responsibility of the state versus the responsibility of the individual to know the dangers of the things that you're putting into your body, because I'm not a politician. I'm not here to talk about, again, for the same reason, potential warning labels on these products. I'm not here to talk about the marketing of these products to children and the demographics of the children who drink them. I'm not a marketing director. I'm not here to talk about the fact that energy drinks are disproportionately consumed, according to a study done at Cardiff University, by those from lower socioeconomic backgrounds compared to those from higher socioeconomic backgrounds, because I'm not an economist and I'm not a sociologist, and by extension, I'm not here to talk about the fact that a Starbucks coffee costs, on average, around twice as much as an energy drink, but depending which energy drink and which Starbucks coffee you get. If you're getting a can of Rockstar for £1, Starbucks coffee, regular Americano, £1.80, £2.20, something like that, you can spend over a fiver on a Starbucks, and that can have more caffeine and more sugar than the most caffeine and sugar laden energy drinks on the market, and they can cost over 4 times the price. So I'm not here to talk about the fact that that's a possible reason for the socio-economic discrepancy in demographics, because I'm not an economist or a sociologist, as I've said. But what I can talk about is the importance of moderation. I'm also not here to talk about pre-existing medical conditions. So I'm not a medical professional, but I can talk about moderation. The fact that we on the channel, we have a lot of content on energy drinks. I would hope that it's obvious that we enjoy drinking energy drinks, and as is often the case with something you enjoy, you want to share that joy with people, people who can also experience that joy, people who enjoy these things. But it's important to remember, if you experience any adverse effects, the trade-off isn't worth it. See, I'm quite a morbid person. I don't know if that comes across much, but energy drinks and death are two things I spend a lot of time thinking about, be it in relation to each other or not. Most of the time, not in relation to each other, entirely independently. But it's something worth considering and being conscious of. I'm not here to talk about the way that instances like this are sold as sensationalist stories by the media, because I'm not a journalist. I understand that they've got a job to do. The government has a job to do. Parents have a responsibility, and no one would want to feel responsible if something like that happened. But I'm not here to talk about who's responsible. I'm not here to talk about what could have been done in the past to avoid something like this. I'm not here to talk about what the government should do or what anyone else should do other than what you can do to stay safe in the future. If you experience any adverse effects from energy drinks, don't drink them. If you consume them excessively, cut back. You know, there's a difference between consuming daily and consuming excessively. Just like with consuming alcohol. You can have one of these a day, and some people are going to say, look, did you not see that story about how dangerous the caffeine is in those? So that's 32 milligrams of caffeine per 100 ml. A lot of the people who criticise these drink tea, coffee, Coca-Cola, Pepsi. They don't think too much about it. But it's the energy drinks that are often demonized, and I understand it, I do. Because coffee isn't necessarily marketed in the same way. But then, like I say, coffee from a coffee shop like Starbucks, it's going to be at least twice the price. And you can spend more and you can have more caffeine and more sugar. And also you can have it full of fat. You can have it full of saturated fat. You can squirt the saturated fat over the top of the coffee, and you can add that to the caloric and nutritional intake of that beverage. But just be sensible. As with anything, consume it in moderation. We look at a lot of fast food. It's not stuff you necessarily want to be eating or drinking every day. I know the name of the channel is Everyday Food Reviews, but we don't mean every day as in every day. It's one word, every day, not every day. This isn't stuff we're drinking and eating every day, but it's everyday stuff, average stuff, stuff you can find on any day of the week, that sort of thing. You know, that's the intention behind the name, rather than, yes, you should eat like this every single day. It's more of a case of any day, maybe, would have been a more appropriate name. But it's every day in terms of average, accessible. And again, that's why we look at more energy drinks than we look at frappuccinos. Energy drinks are available in the corner shop. They're available on the internet. They're available in the supermarket. £5 frappuccino is available in Starbucks, Costa, and it's 5 times the price. That's just what I wanted to say about that. I'm not trying to promote the idea that you should consume nothing but energy drinks. I've joked about it before. I've joked and said, you know, I drink nothing but energy drinks. The only water I have is the caffeine water. That's a joke. I drink water. I'm probably not as healthy as I could be. My diet probably isn't as varied as it should be. But I'm just doing what I can with the life that I've got and the things that I enjoy and the things that I enjoy that I would like to share and share that joy. And that's what I want things to be about, is positivity. No matter what you enjoy, there's going to be people who criticize it. You enjoy video games, there's going to be someone who criticizes it. Energy drinks, there'll be someone who criticizes it. Chocolate, there'll be someone who criticizes it. Do meat. These things are subjectively unethical, and a lot of them are objectively unhealthy. But it's a case of balancing that physical health with mental health. You could eat the healthiest diet, drink nothing but water, have chicken breast and broccoli every day. And I know some people who do, and fair play. But for me, that would make me very sad. I'd be very sad. I wouldn't be able to enjoy my food or enjoy my drink. So you need some variation in terms of mental health. Those are my thoughts. As I've said, I'm not a psychologist. I didn't intend to talk about that. I just wandered into it as I tend to do. But I think the key message of the day is moderation and knowing yourself. If you experience adverse side effects, cut back or cut it out entirely. Energy drinks are rarely, if ever, necessary component of your daily life. It's a very convenient component, just like coffee. A lot of people say, oh, I can't function in the morning without my coffee. I might say I can't function in the morning without my energy drink. It's the same sentiment. But at the end of the day, ultimately, if you had to, you absolutely could function in the morning without your coffee or energy drink. You've just not been trained to, because since you've started working or since you've started university, they've been an option, and you've taken that option, and there comes a point where that's all you know and that's all you can remember. And as for children drinking them, I don't promote that idea. As a child, I did drink energy drinks. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. There was a point I was drinking a litre bottle of Blue Charge every day. I was drinking it over the course of the day, but I was drinking it. It was sugar-free. But that's still a lot of caffeine for a 13, 14-year-old. And it's easy to blame the parents in a lot of these cases, but at that time, there was no Challenge 21 and there was no law that stopped under 16s from buying them. I passed Asda on my way to school every morning and bought those. Whether I don't know if my dad knew that that's what I was buying, but even if he did, what's he going to do to stop me? He has to give me money for lunch. I'm going to spend 50p, it was 50p at the time for a litre bottle of Blue Charge, I'll spend 50p on that. There was nothing he could have done to stop me. He told me energy drinks were bad, but I grew up seeing him drink coffee every morning. So you take those comments, even at that age, with a pinch of salt, and you think, I want to be grown up. This is what grown-ups do. They have caffeine to function. And as a child, you don't need it. But you take the caffeine and you think this is what grown-ups do. And then all of a sudden you do need it to function. Because you've become addicted and dependent on it. And it's not a good place to be. And that can stay with you for a long time until you actively decide, if you choose to, do something about it, but most people don't. And that's not healthy, that's objectively not healthy. And it's potentially fatal. But there's things you can do. If you notice adverse side effects, go and get checked out, cut it out altogether. The adverse side effects from not consuming caffeine every day, the withdrawals, the migraines, they'll pass with time as your body adjusts. The adverse side effects from consuming too much are going to get worse with time as your body is defeated. So just be aware and be conscious of that. I'm not trying to depress anyone. Personally, I'm going to continue enjoying energy drinks on an almost daily basis. But I'm not going to be consuming them excessively. I'm not going to be consuming them in addition to coffee. I'm going to try and be responsible. And that's all we can do. And what happens with taxes and labels will happen. But if you've got the knowledge and you know what's in there, the taxes and the labels won't really change much. I mean, the taxes may well change the priority of the marketing and the demographics who drink them, but if they end up being as expensive as Starbucks coffee, we're going to start putting warning labels on that to the same effect. I don't know. Coffee's much more established. It's a big industry. We just need to wait and see what happens with that. And my thoughts do go out to the family of the poor lad who's lost his life. Or whatever or whoever is to blame, it's sad news. It's news no one wants to hear. But yeah, especially if you're a child, you've got the rest of your life to build chemical dependencies as a responsible adult. Don't think you need to rush into anything. Just try and enjoy your childhood and spend money on V-Bucks or Pokemon cards instead of energy drinks, Monster, G Fuel. That's what I'd say. We'll get into this. So this is a 0 sugar. It's, I think, an original flavour because it doesn't say otherwise. It says it's got taurine, caffeine and vitamins, 32 milligrams of caffeine per 100 ml, not recommended for children or pregnant or breastfeeding women. Well, luckily, I'm none of those. Well, I'm arguably a child, depending who you ask. Is that a mental or a physical aspect of being? It's another philosophical question for you. Answers in the comments. So, it's that yellow, greenish apple juice sort of colour. As we expect, it smells like an original energy drink. Cheers. Not a massive amount of flavour in this one. I had low expectations because it's just going to be a sugar-free original energy drink. Now, it doesn't taste remotely sticky, but it doesn't taste much of anything, to be honest. And I've previously been very impressed with Tiger. They've had some interesting drinks. Some of them I've not enjoyed, like the pineapple one. I think that was the one with the Mortal Kombat can design. Personally, I didn't enjoy that, but I did enjoy the fact that they were trying something different and they had a wonderful can design to go along with it. The blue screen from Tiger was phenomenal. Tiger Restart, I really rated. So even an original energy drink flavour from them, I'm still expecting it to be nice. I like the fact that Tiger just push the boat out sometimes and just try these things. This one though, yeah, I mean, if you're in Poland and this is 30p or something, 30 cents, it's probably worth it. In this country, 70-80p now. You can go to Lidl, get Kong Strong for less than 30p, and that's a better drink. I was saying the other day that's probably the closest Red Bull clone to Red Bull that I've had, and it comes in a half sugar and a sugar-free variant, and it's one of the cheapest you can get. The only things you see cheaper than that ever are when something like Rich Energy is six for a pound in Heron Foods because it's going out of date. So yeah, unfortunately in this country I don't see that this Tiger Zero has a place, but I'm glad that I've tried it, and I hope you've enjoyed the video. I try and be light-hearted. I try to not take things too seriously. But today. That's just something I wanted to quickly, or not so quickly as the case has probably turned out to be, address. Not trying to bring anyone down. It's just I know we've got a lot of people who do enjoy these things, and I would like to see people enjoy them for as long as possible, rather than as much as possible. I'm hoping that these people will still be around for a long time, and I think it's our responsibility as an energy drink community to be responsible and sensible. So with that, I will wrap it up, and thank you very much for joining us, and I will implore you to stay safe and stay responsible, and I will see you next time. Cheers.